fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
You're watching BTTV. This is Market Today. I'm Tanya, Aneja, and with me is Shailendra Bhatnagar as always, our markets editor. Well, Indian markets are at record highs, but will the rally sustain going forward? We will discuss this and much more. But first, let's take a quick look at the markets and the levels where we are at this point in time. So clearly we hit that high of 21,603.4 on Nifty, and we have come off the highs but still above that 21,550 odd level. 121 points uptick there on Nifty. Nifty Bank also supporting the rally that we are seeing on the benchmark index. And talking about some of the gainers, it's the cement day today. We have discussed it after the Nomura upgrade. We have seen these stocks performing really well in today's trading session. Ultratech Cement, the top gainer for you, 4% uptick there, 10,439. That's the level. Some of the metals, some of the metal counters also participating in today's rally. Hindalco, one of the gainers for you, 3.6% uptick there. 600 is the level where we are at. Bajaj Auto, fresh record high on this particular counter. Tata Motors, we discussed this as well in the morning trade. One of the wealth creators of 2023. JSW Steel, one of the other gainers for you. Then we have some of the PSU counters on the flip side. In the losers list, NTPC, ONGC among the top losers for you, down around 1% as we speak. Some of the FMCG counters not participating in the rally. Coming to you now, Shell, quickly. Looks like this rally is just unstoppable.
Absolutely. A very warm good afternoon to all the viewers who are watching us on Market Today. It's a very, very nice, strong day out on Dalal Street, Tanya. We've had a record high, the highest level being 21,600 intraday. And chances are that we'll close above that given the momentum that we are seeing over the last half an hour or so. Remember, the Nifty is in a very, very strong uptrend, and the stocks that are causing this uptrend are none other than HDFC Bank. In the Nifty's 113-point gain, HDFC Bank has contributed 15 points. Infosys is up 1%, it's contributing 14 points. Ultratech 11, Bharti Airtel 10, and Tata Motors 9 points. On the losing side, there aren't many stocks at all, but NTPC is contributing a 5-point downside on Nifty. Apart from that, what's really, really interesting is that you've had a record high on the Nifty Auto Index. At the moment, it's up about 1.3%, 18,189. And a very sharp rally that's coming on Nifty Metals and, of course, the Nifty PSU banking basket. The other thing I'd like to mention is that there are about, if you look at in detail as to what is happening within the Nifty, it's a rally which is across the board. And why I need to mention this is that as far as the Nifty is concerned, there are 4 + 4, 8 stocks that have hit record highs. They are Ultratech Cement, Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, JSW Steel, Tata Consumer, L&T, Titan and Hero Motors. So essentially it's going to be an auto day from now onwards till maybe 1st of Jan, because we are all going to see monthly numbers being reported. And as far as autos is concerned, I track somewhere like 113 auto ancillary stocks also, Tanya. There's a very, very sharp uptick happening there as well. What else is interesting? It's again, how should I say, a low volume kind of a day. We are almost now less than an hour away from total trades. Again, ICICI Bank is the top traded counter, just 1800 crore shares are worth traded. ICICI Bank is next on the list, 900 crores, 990 crores. And of course, Mazgaon Docks, again 956 crores. So it's a low trading volume day, but across the board, you have a very, very nice advanced decline ratio, about 1050 shares in the green, 1000 shares in the red, so 1:1. Within the NSE 500, you'll see an advanced decline ratio of 275 to 224, so 1:1. All in all, a great day. I'm hoping we'll close above 21,600 today, Tanya.
Absolutely, Shail. I also hope the same. And let's do one thing, Shail. Let's welcome our guest also on the show. And we have with us Mr. Akshay Bhagwat, who is the Senior VP of Derivatives Research at GM Financial. Very good afternoon, Akshay. Always good to have you on BT TV. You know, record highs, Nifty at 21,600. That's the level. I want to now understand from you that are these levels sustainable going forward? Because, you know, let's discuss some of the important levels one should watch out for.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the invite on the show. Well, as far as the Nifty goes, yes, the trend is intact. In fact, if you look the way the market has covered the lost ground, it took 4 trading sessions to cover up the entire losses, which we saw exactly 1 week before on Wednesday. Yes, it's a minor resistance today, 21,600, considering the fact that this was the point from where we saw the sell-off last week. Also, tomorrow is the monthly expiry, and 21,600 has a lot of call writing activity. So yes, maybe for a couple of days, considering the thin volumes which are prevalent in the market, there might be some bit of a temporary profit booking. But broadly, as I see, as we head into the new year, I think 22K should be conquered very soon.
Akshay, any of the two stocks that you are looking at on the long side or the short side?
So if you look at the way the day trading session was, it was the auto space, and even in the last few sessions, as I see, the pharma space is also noting some good long additions and rollovers into the Jan series. So from the auto names, I have Tata Motors on my buy list here. Tata Motors has a very strong technical structure. In fact, today's trading has seen good additions in the January series. The prior swing high of 730 has been taken off in day trading. So a positive chart structure, which gives me the target of around 775 on the upside. 730 is the support zone. So you can keep a stop loss of around 723 on the buy trade, and 775 is where you target Tata Motors from a trading perspective. The other stock is from the pharma space here. Zydus Lifestyle is the stock I would like to buy from a trading perspective. A consolidation in the range of 670 to 695. Today's trading has seen long additions in Jan series, and also a positive green candle, which is possibly hinting for a break about an 690 zone. You will see a momentum surge soon for targets of around 725. So buy Zydus Life with a stop loss of 670 with a target of 725 for the short term.
Okay, absolutely, got that. And since you mentioned Tata Motors, Akshay, I want to mention this as well, that Tata Group actually created humongous wealth for its investors. So the market capitalization of 28 listed entities jumped to 27.6 lakh crore on December 26th of this year, against 21 odd crore rupees on December 30th last year. So Tata Group is in focus actually, and we have been discussing Tata Motors. But talking about some other buzzing stocks as well, Akshay, and I have been discussing Bank of Baroda also. We discussed this yesterday in the morning trade as well. This stock is on a roll, a top gainer from the Nifty Bank Index. 3.2% uptick there, 232, yes, 232.6. That's the level where we are at this point in time. Will this momentum sustain going forward?
Yes, for Bank of Baroda, as I see today, is a breakout on day trading charts. The breakout was noted at the level of 228. Long additions are prevalent in the futures and options space. Deep OTM calls are also noting significant buy action for the January series. And the momentum is pretty strong enough in the PSU space. And I think Bank of Baroda is a stock which has exposure to futures and options, which has good traction in terms of volume and open interest buildup. So I would suggest you can go long on Bank of Baroda, keep a stop loss of days low, which should be around 225. And here the momentum can see the stock sailing up till around 260 odd levels from a short-term trading perspective.
Okay, Akshay, absolutely. And when it comes to BDL, stellar rally we have seen yesterday also, today as well. The stock is up 5%, 785 is the level. Is it time now to book some profits, Akshay?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's time to book profits from a trading perspective. The charts are highly overbought. It's been a very fabulous rally as I see. It's been almost a one-way, unchallenged rally from 950 to 1787 in Bharat Dynamics. Yes, it does make a lot of sense to take some profits off the table. Some bit of correction, maybe I think it's going to be more of a time-wise correction. You can see a sideways range spanning out soon. 1700 is the support, but take profits off the table. You should get this stock soon on dips. 1700 is the ideal level I foresee now, which should be the right level to again take a fresh long side. So yes, book profits, and that's the suggestion I have for BDL.
Okay, 240 in front of us. That leaves us with 20 plus 30, 50 minutes of trade. We've already hit a record high on the index, and after an intraday sell-off, the index is on its way up again. 21,580 for you, 140 points in the green as far as the Nifty is concerned. A 340 point uptick on Bank Nifty, 48,000 in front of you. What else is sticking? I see a lot of block deals happening on the Nifty ETFs, so that's very interesting. What also is buzzing on the long side? Let's look at Bajaj Auto, and let's look at M&M. These are two stocks that are showing a lot of traction. Bajaj Auto, of course, rallies for the fourth day in a row. Would you want to, Akshay, touch upon Bajaj Auto in terms of rollovers? How do they look for January?
Well, 2 days before, a day before the expiry till now, the rollovers are along with the averages normally, which stands rules are good as of now, as I see right now. So long positions are building up in Bajaj Auto, but the only concern I have is that this rally has extended too fast, and it's gone beyond the expectations. So it's highly overbought on the charts, and from a risk reward perspective, I'm not much comfortable taking a buy bet in Bajaj Auto at the given juncture. So I would suggest, if you are holding buy positions from a trading perspective, it's prudent to book out profits. If not, if it's a positional trade, yes, you can continue holding it, but a slight dips in Bajaj Auto would make it more attractive to go long again. Here, Mahindra and Mahindra looks more attractive because the stock has not moved much, and I would be more proactive here to take a buy trade in Mahindra and Mahindra. The strong support base at 1620 has been built, and the stock now is setting up to test the upper end of the band of its trading range, which is 1740. And from there further, you can take the stock up to 1775. So out of the two preferred picks, I think Mahindra and Mahindra would be more better choice in terms of the risk reward which the auto space has to offer at the given juncture.
Fair point. And again, as I had pointed out, it's the run up to the end of the month kind of a positioning that happens each month on auto volume sales. And it's the two-wheeler space and the four-wheeler space that is taking it away. Very sharp moves coming into a lot of auto ancillary stocks as well. Let's just sort of mark some more stocks. I need to mention 3M India. We normally don't talk about this stock simply because of the high ticket size, but at the moment 3M has broken out very, very sharply, 34656, and this is obviously a record high, a single day move pushing out all of consolidation over the last 6 odd months out of the way, and this is accompanied by a very, very sharp rise in volume. Interestingly, if you look at the volume buzzers on NSE 500, 3M is on the top, record high, up 10%, and 45,500 shares are traded, which is 22 times the 5-day average. Akshay, we don't discuss these kind of stocks mainly because of price ticket, but this is the first day of the move. Any view on 3M India?
Yeah, 3M India fab move. I mean, I think it's almost near the circuit, if I'm not mistaken, 10.3% up. Volumes, as you rightly mentioned, an exceptional high volumes. This kind of volumes we have almost seen after 2020. So yes, a lot of buying interest picking up in the script, and technically a breakout about 33,000. That's the reason the stock has caught up such a strong momentum. 37,500 can be the target area from a trading perspective. So this can be a BTST candidate in case you have not bought this. Yes, tomorrow gap up openings should be due in this, and 37,500 is where I see the stock heading for. And if you have this in your portfolio on from a medium term perspective, then yes, 33,000 base has been set, and this stock should soon see targets above 40,000 with a time horizon of around a month.
Okay. The upper circuit is 37,000 rupees, if not more, the 20% limit for a day. And yes, if you're very lucky to have it in your portfolio, do not exit no matter what. So this is how the structure is of the market. 45,000 shares traded, which is 22 times. यानी कि daily volume कितनी हुई? एक second. 2,000 shares. So that's how markets are moving, and when the big boys move, they move in a lot of how should I say momentum, thrust and rigor. So this is how it is structured at the moment. What is also clicking on my charts is Hutco. After a very decent rally and then a smart correction, the stock is now up again 113. Akshay, this is as Tanya says. Why don't you, Tanya, you say your favorite line?
Chota packet, bada dhamaka. Yes, absolutely,
Bas.
Shailendra.
Akshay, over to you, Hutco.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yes, I too concur with the view. Chota packet, bada dhamaka, and this stock has actually rallied once it has seen a breakout above 100. So that makes it very attractive on the technical charts from the medium term perspective. All-time highs taken off 2018 odd levels. We saw these levels of 100, which are clearly breached by the market. Positional targets are significant here. You can easily expect around 175 to 190 with a time horizon of 3 months plus. If you're trading on this stock, then 130 to 135 should be on very soon. So yes, trading, consider it a buy. The support is 105, target 130 to 135. Positionally, if you own the stock, your targets are 175. You can even consider it taking a fresh buy trade to hold in your portfolio with a time horizon of 3 months plus.
Okay, absolutely. Got that, Akshay. But, I want to discuss some of these cement counters as well. These cement stocks are in focus today, especially after the Nomura upgrade. So, Nomura has upgraded 4 of these cement stocks and raised their target prices as well. It has upgraded Ultratech to buy from neutral with a target price of 11,500. Dalmia Bharat target has been raised to 2,900 rupees. Ramco Cement to 1,250, and it has maintained a buy rating of on Shree Cement as well, and the target price has been increased to 33,400. Akshay, coming to you for cement stocks, any stocks that are on your radar from this space?
From the cement space, Ramco Cement. So this stock even has an exposure to the futures and options series, And this is more in a consolidation. If you look at it, the lower end of the band has been 980, upper end of the band has been 1050. It's been in a consolidation, slightly choppy, but slowly making its way upward. And as I see the targets here work out till around 1100. So this stock too might see a blasting move in the short term. Support area is around 990. So this should be on your buy watch list. With the stop loss below the supports, you can target 1100 from a trading perspective.
Okay, absolutely. And some of these metal counters, they are also shining, Akshay, in today's trading session. I mean, look at Hindalco, strong moves coming in there. Nalco, Steel Authority of India, we have been discussing this stock, and in the morning trade also we discussed. Any stocks on your radar from the metal space?
From the metal space, it has to be Steel Authority of India. Well, it's a small ticket stock. 115 is where it trades. It had a fabulous rally from 90 odd levels. And if you look at the volumes, which have phenomenally gone up in the last few trading sessions in the range of 105, 110, I believe this is more of a strong buying interest which is picking up in the stock, which can easily take this stock to around the swing highs of 140 to 145, which was seen way back in 2021. So positional targets, medium term 145. If you are trading on the stock, then consider accumulating it in the zone of 115 to 118. Your target area should be 127 to 130 very soon.
Okay, let's look at what the Nifty is doing, ladies and gentlemen. We have all chances of a fresh record high and closing above 21,600. Those of you who were with us in the morning, we had highlighted Nifty January 4th weekly call of 21,500. At that point of time, that 21,500 call was trading at 235 rupees, and of course the price is fairly substantial now, 308. So that's how, you know, options data is or options data is read. If I might add, this is something to look forward to, because if it closes above 21,600, then the delta for this call will be 1. It will start behaving like a future, and that is when things will get more interesting. But for the moment, 308, this is how it is structured at the moment. 3M India, ever since Akshay has pointed out, has strengthened further. The price that we see on 3M India is now 35,338. Let's see how it's positioned. Okay, now 3M India is 12.4% higher. The last time we checked, it was just 10% higher. So fairly strong momentum coming in. Nifty is of course days high. Any view on closing thoughts as far as Nifty is concerned? We are on T-1 monthly expiry, Akshay.
Well, we are very close to the resistance and at a very delicate zone. If you are considering from tomorrow's weekly expiry, it can swing either ways, and if it swings, it's going to swing hard tomorrow. It's going to be minimum move of plus minus 100 points from where it currently stands. One thing which you rightly said is that 21,600 should sustain and it should close above these levels. That should set the momentum for a strong rally in tomorrow's trading session. As it currently stands, it is kind of resisting at 21,600. So I would kind of wait and watch tomorrow's morning opening trade. If it opens about 21,600, that's the first sign for me to go aggressively long. If I'm using the options route, 21,650 is the call I look forward to buy. At the current juncture, I would give it a miss because it's a very delicate zone where it trades. It is more susceptible to option selling where both calls and puts, or the traditional short straddles are built where calls and puts of 21,600 strike are sold to eat the premium depreciation for tomorrow's opening. So yes, let 21,600 break. That's a buy trade for you. If it doesn't, then your buy area again moves down to 21520 basis spot Nifty.
Okay, gentlemen. I think we'll need to keep an eye out on 3M. Tanya, just a moment, please. The reason why I mentioned this is that it's moving by the tick, which essentially means that every trade that is happening, it's on a higher price point. Actually, the thing is that the bid and ask on this one is a difference of at least 40-45 rupees per share. So that's how the momentum is. And what's the ATP? 30, almost 34,000. Okay, let's see how it happens. Remember, the upper circuit is 37, 737. It's at the moment 35, 620, up about 13.28%. This is not an invitation to buy. This is to prevent you from selling if you have it. Just keep it in your portfolio. It's moving very, very sharply. What else is clicking in the index heavyweight space? Let's just say let's just shift focus to what's happening in the index heavyweight space. At the moment, we've touched upon Tata Motors many times, Bajaj Finserv, Infosys, SBI. Okay, this is interesting. SBI is moving 1.5% higher, 648. Akshay, would you have a view on State Bank of India?
Yes. So from the PSU banking space, today Bank of Baroda has attempted a breakout, but State Bank of India already has registered a breakout a few trading sessions back last week. This breakout was noticed at the levels of 630. So that was a very strong or a positive development. We did revisit this breakout zones in the correction which we saw on Wednesday, and from there again the recovery is happening. So yes, the positions of longs built for January are intact. The overall chart structure is good, and even the derivative signals are hinting that the recent swing high of 660 should be taken off soon. So I maintain a positive view on State Bank of India. Your support zone is around 630, and the target areas I look forward to are 675 to 690 for the month of January. So consider buying State Bank at the current rates. Your target area if you're trading is around 675.
Okay, absolutely got that. So that was SBI for you, but I am now going to discuss one of the multi-baggers share. And this stock is up around 165% on a YTD basis, and I'm talking about SJVN. And of course, at these levels, I would like to ask you, Akshay, that is it now the time to book profits, because the stock is up 4% today. 93 is the level where we are at this point in time. What would you do with the SJVN at these levels?
Well, if I'm owning the stock, certainly I would like to hold it furthermore. Probably I might need to give it a time of a month plus, but still there are no signals on the charts which are suggesting a downside reversal or a major profit booking sign. It might
Okay.
spend some time in the range of 82 to around 100, but broadly the signals which I am getting is that 125 should be on the card soon. So yes, consider holding SJVN if you own it in your portfolio. But if you're a fresh buyer, you're interested in taking a fresh buy position in the stock, a slight dip around 88 or 90 would be more attractive from the risk reward perspective.
Okay, absolutely got that. 125 is on the cards. Let's see how the action pans out on this particular counter. But talking about one of the other buzzing stocks only, and I'm talking about Sona BLW. If you could quickly do a technical check on this one as well. 618.5, that's the level. 7% uptick there as we speak. What do the technical charts suggest, Akshay, for Sona BLW?
Sona BLW, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not able to find this on my software. You can please excuse me on this, yeah.
No worries at all.
Is
We'll
this
discuss.
Sonacom, if I'm not mistaken, 617? Yeah, I did.
Yes,
Sonacoms, yes.
Yes,
So
Sonacoms.
Sonacoms, yes. On the charts, I would be interested in taking a bet on this. Slightly from a medium-term perspective, 618 is where it trades right now. It has a resistance at the area of 625. This resistance is valid if you're a short-term trader. So ideally, a breakout above 625 should set up the stock for targets till around 700. So yes, I'm preempting a breakout, but from accumulation point, either above 625 or around 600 is what makes the stock favorable to take a fresh buy entry. If you are holding it, 700 is the target you should be waiting for. A positive chart structure, just waiting for a breakout, trading near its resistance. So I maintain a positive view on Sona Comms with a target of 700.
You know, Shell, Bikaji is also buzzing
Again,
today.
drawing your
You
attention
remember
to
the
3M
conversation
India.
we had on Bikaji? And we are going to discuss this with Mayuresh shortly.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
I think we should take a technical check as well today, because it is among the top gainers from the small cap space.
Absolutely.
So Akshay, would you like
Absolutely,
to
please
share
go
your
ahead.
thoughts on Bikaji?
Bikaji Foods, yes, the chart structure is absolutely strong, and I believe this is more of an investing story, which I look at the charts. I think the targets of around 630 to 675 should be on very in the medium term. Trading perspective would not make me very comfortable to buy at these levels. Somewhere around 540 odd levels would give me more
Okay.
comfort. So this is trading. I'm not more comfortable taking this buy at the current level. But if you're owning the stock, yes, the targets are pretty big. All you need is to give some time, and your targets of 640, 650 should be on in the stock.
Right, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll focus our attention back on 3M India. Remember, we started discussing it when it was up just 10%. You'll be very, very pleasantly surprised to see what the price is. It's now in the vicinity of 37,300, and when you look at 37,300, it's just how should I say 18% higher, just 2% more left, and probably we'll see a circuit on 3M India. Let me just raise it up. 37,148 in front of you. We started marking it at somewhere like 33,700. So a very, very strong momentum in the market. Even now, when you look at the bid and ask, it's now increased to $150, 75 bucks. Okay, let's see how it goes. Remember, the circuit is 37,737. This is not an invitation to buy. It is a message for you not to sell, if you are lucky enough to have it in your portfolio. And Tanya, congratulations. We have 21,610 on the index. This is a huge, huge bar that has happened. The low of this 5-minute bar is 21,580. The high is still continuing, 21,614. So our early morning pick on that 21,500 call has done wonders. Let me just very quickly look at what the price is. Remember, we picked it up at 235 rupees. It's a breakout on that one as well. 310. Oh wow, 327. Wonderful. Our PCR is firing it at will. So 324.40. We picked it up 328. Wonderful. We had picked it up at 235. So let's hope and pray that the close today is above 21,600, and that will ignite a further action on the Nifty from tomorrow onwards. Remember, tomorrow is the final day for December's fabulous expiry. My understanding is the Nifty is now up 6.5% as far as the monthly gain is concerned, and this is led by none other than HDFC Bank, 1701. Very quickly to you, Akshay, what do you think? Oh wow, 21,626. So they are going to kill the bears today with short covering. Akshay.
Yeah, so 21,600 comfortably taken off, and the unwinding process in call writing, which we were talking about, has kicked off. As I see just now, major contracts have been shared in the last 5-10 minutes. So the unwinding process has begun. If you consider a BTST, yes, your support is 21,600 now. 21,650 is the call you can aim at. And if this continues, 21,700 plus can be on the cards tomorrow itself.
Okay. Tanya, this is a blowout. 6:35. Let me just see ITM calls. I think they're just going to kill the bears today itself. आज ही मार देंगे. Okay. Unbelievable. What a page. Let me just do cut and paste and send it to you. Akshay, you're looking at ITM call short covering in the current expiry.
Yes. As of now,
It's
yes.
unbelievable.
21,600 has started the short covering process. This has been a surprise. It has come in the last half an hour of trade, and it's whenever there are surprises, it takes you fast and furiously. So this move can just extend, and if one carries this position for the next day on the short side, they are going to have a sad time for tomorrow's expiry.
Okay. Tanya, what an unbelievable move. I've just sent you the cutout. Yeah. Just see the red column of OI change. This is how bears are getting killed. And it's unstoppable. 21,641. Akshay, we are not going to let you go. You are a lucky mascot. So you will stay with us till 3:30. Okay. And remember, the low at 2 p.m. was 21,510. So a 120 point rally has happened over the last almost an hour or so, and how should I say, 5 minutes, 65 minutes. And this is getting better and better. Let me just see, we had picked up this 21,500 option for next week. Well, this is at 337, wow. And this is a breakout that's accompanied by price. I'm sure the PCR will show it to you. Yes, 339. Okay, $100 made intraday, and at installment cost, at a establishment cost of 235, that's a 42% return, and it's getting better and better. What a move! Fabulous. There's so many block deals happening on Nifty and Bank Nifty and Sensex ETFs. Unbelievable. Lucky day. Akshay, your thoughts?
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, block deals are on. The heavyweights have joined the party, and December ending doesn't get better with the expiry day, just one day. And you have this move coming in the last half an hour of trade. So yes, expect fireworks tomorrow. 21,600 is taken off. Still half an hour to go. You'd never know where this can lead Nifty to, because the short covering process has strongly begun. Bears are being massacred, as I see, especially it's the call writers who are taking a hit on their bets, as I see right now on the screen.
Okay, absolutely. Got that, Akshay. And since, markets are cheering, bulls are in action today. They completely killed bears, as Shail rightly pointed out. So why don't you give us 2 bonus picks? And I'll give you some time, because we'll take a short break right now. And once we come back, why don't you give us, 2 bonus picks that you want to recommend to our viewers? So we'll come back with lots more. Stay tuned.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and let's welcome Mayuresh Joshi also. He's now with us as well. And what a wonderful day, Mayuresh, to have you with us on BTTV. You know, markets at record highs, 21,650. That's also the level done and dusted now on Nifty. And we were discussing with Akshay, you know, his bonus picks and all. But first, let's discuss with you, you know, your thoughts on the market action today.
Afternoon, Tanya. Afternoon, Shail sir. Afternoon, Akshay as well. Always a pleasure to be with you guys any point of the day. Having said that, I think the structural story and the momentum for Indian markets probably continue. Obviously, I think a couple of data points to add more. I think corporate debt as a percentage of GDP has gone even lower. So what you're probably expected to see with rate cuts expected to begin at some point in the second half of the next calendar year, that will also create a huge boost in terms of corporate balance sheets and therefore have a huge say as far as capacity additions is concerned. And therefore, the gross capital formation expected to improve post the general elections. A large part of the market is now hinging on what the interim budget might present. And therefore, there will be a lot of positives as far as capital allocations are concerned, which should give a huge boost as far as the Indian growth story is concerned. And with rate cuts in tandem happening at the global level as well, a lot of FI flows will come in leaps and bounds. I think my buckets, if I would call it, in FY24. So I think it's looking good for the markets structurally. So I think Indian markets are probably having the best time in the past few years. And those good times might very well continue as we head into FY24 as well.
Okay. तो चलिए अब वक्त आ गया है कुर्सी की बेटी बांध लीजिए एज शेयर ऑलवेज सेज अब यू नो वी आर गोना डिस्कस 4 picks, 2 bonus picks from Akshay and then 2 long term picks from Mayuresh. So Akshay, over to you first.
Yeah. So the first pick is Muthoot Finance. Currently it trades at 1476. Technically, it's in a very strong uptrend since the last 3-4 months, and as I see right now, it's been confined in a range. 1440 is the lower end of the range and 1500 is the upper end of the band. Since the last few trading sessions, stock is preparing for a strong launch on the upside. A breakout above 1500 would target around 1540 to 1560. I'm preempting this breakout, which will be seen very soon. So buy Muthoot Finance. Current rate is 1476. Your target area will be 1540 to 1560. Your stop loss should be at 1425. Second trade is in the banking space, State Bank of India. As I mentioned a few minutes back, it's already a breakout story and the momentum is regaining in this bank. The PSU story is still on, and I believe State Bank is the best pick out of the PSU space, as I understand by going by the chart readings. 675 to 690 is the target area you look forward to. Your support base is 635, so your stop losses are below the support, and you target 675 to 690 very soon.
Okay, absolutely. Now Mayuresh, your turn.
Okay.
Absolutely correct. So I think as I spoke about all the macros and the infra and the capex related themes, along with what can come in terms of budgetary allocations, I will continue with our call, which is a structural call on well-spent enterprises. Company is poised both in terms of roads and waste and water treatment. Waste and water treatment is 64% of their top line, and the rest is a combination of roads, within which the EPC part for both waste and waterways and the EPC of HAP, which is again a high IRR business, should contribute meaningfully well. They are monetizing some part of the road portfolio, so 1,700 odd crores, which they have invested as equity. They are expecting proceeds of almost 2,400, 2,500 crores to probably come through. The second element in terms of the allocations towards urban infra, and specifically in terms of Nal Ke Jal schemes of 60,000 odd crores, rural infrastructure as well. I think a lot more budgetary allocations are expected to happen in a very meaningful fashion, and a lot more orders expected to come through in the next few quarters as this gains speed and momentum. And therefore, from a balance sheet construct perspective, with very marginal debt onto their books, expectations of margins were in the first half around 19%, expecting around 17-18% margins with a company called Michigan Engineers, which they've taken over, an expert in tunneling. A lot more work expected there as well, as far as metros and other ancillary work is concerned. And a 9,000 crore order book with more orders expected their way. I think all check boxes are probably getting ticked for well-spent enterprises. So you should definitely have this stock. on your radar, and it's not too expensive compared to its own standard averages and compared to the group that it is trading at. So that is one stock that I keep in mind. The other one is on pullbacks. So if JK Cement pulls back 4 or 5%, I think that will be a good entry point for medium to long-term investors. Obviously, cement as a sector the expectations are pretty high, but I think the expectations should probably get delivered by most cement companies. The capacities that they have got, specifically grey and white at 20.7 and 2.2 respectively, there is an increase in capacity which is expected of 1.5 as we speak. That should get commissioned anytime, and a 2 MTPA capacity expected in some timelines in the next 2 or 3 quarters. That will clearly aid volumes going forward. Margins have been extremely good. The reported EBITDA per ton has improved quite significantly. Pet coke prices have seen an increase but are expected to remain extremely stable. With diesel prices the way they are and expectations of these crude prices expected to stay in a range, these costs will come down, which means EBITDA per ton as utilization levels improve, which is at 75%, as it inches toward that 80% mark, will create an operating leverage onto the balance sheet. Not too much heading onto this books. And we really like clean balance sheet at this juncture. With rate cuts, the capacity to take some additional incremental debt for growth perspectives obviously augurs well for all these stories going forward as well. So JK Cement on pullbacks and Welspun Enterprises is something that we continue to like and participate in.
A very warm good afternoon to you, Mayuresh. We were just waiting for you, Tanya and I. Bikaji Foods has hit a record high, and this is also the time for lunch.
Yeah, and you're going to enjoy bhujia, I know, with your meal. I know that.
में बाजार बंद हो जाना. Yeah.
But Shel sir, I'm having the revdi that you've given me. So
first, अरे बड़ी मेहरबानी आपने याद रखा. Okay, Mayuresh, first to you, some words of sympathy for bears in this day and age. I really wonder why people go short, but they do. And it's visible on the screen. They are getting killed by every passing second. So a word of sympathy for them. And then Tanya and I have been waiting for you. Bikaji Foods.
नहीं ये बाजार शॉर्ट ही नहीं कर सकते शेल सर आप, यानी ये बाजार में शॉर्ट के तो सबसे बड़ी गलती है. सो आई थिंक द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक दैट यू आर गोइंग टू डू इज शॉर्टिंग द मार्केट. सो obviously I think we are in good territory, we are in fine fettle, and therefore the momentum remains on our side, and this momentum might very well continue as we head into Jan as well, because of both what is expected out of the budget and the pre-election rally, plus very less alternatives for FIs and the kind of DI money that is pouring in. So I think कोई structural downside लग नहीं रही है for the market. So I think all the best to the bears, as I would say. The element on Bikaji Foods, again, I think two things happening for packaged food companies. One obviously is the expectations of volume growth, and where Bikaji is positioned, ethnic snacks is almost 68%, packaged sweets is 18%, so that's a large part of the portfolio, around 85%. Western snacks around 6, 7, or 8%, and papads make around 6%. Margins have been exceedingly good in the previous quarter, around 14%. And with expectations of input costs, both flour and edible oil prices expected to head lower, the expectation is that margin expansion along with volume growth, volume growth both because of demand amplifying in the next few quarters, and expectations in terms of capacity increases to meet demand by organized players like Bikaji Foods. I think that is clearly going to aid operating leverage onto the balance sheet and create huge implications as far as the return ratios are concerned. Again, the stock really in this financial year, where all stocks have probably moved in the broader markets 2 times, 3 times, has just delivered returns of around 40-45%. So that there is good runaway growth with a lot of tailwinds that should favor Bikaji Foods shares.
And to this, we'd like to add that both Tanya and I like Bikaji Bhujia. So with
I
that
love it.
override,
I love it,
you
Shel.
can keep that stock. Last time we discussed how should we have Bhujia. Akshay, do you like Bhujia?
It's good with cricket matches, yeah.
And you know what's interesting? I was listening to Mayuresh somewhere else, You know what he said? Gift City has started the sales of liquor, and therefore bhujia consumption will go up, and therefore Bhikaji Foods.
Oh.
Am I wrong, Mayuresh?
Yeah, that was on a lighter note, but the point was that नमकीन तो लगता ही है जब लिकर लेते हो तो.
You know,
You see, when
Shail,
liquor and food is concerned, I don't think so. Anything is light. Yeah. Tell me, Tanya. Yeah, tell me.
yeah, Shail, our producer Deepak sir is also asking that will market end this year at record highs. So I think we should take a technical check quickly with Akshay. Akshay, do you think that we would be able to sustain these levels?
Record high तो है ही.
Akshay, can you hear us?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I missed it.
Yeah, I'm saying that do you think that these levels are sustainable going forward and we are going to end this new year at record highs only?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. I mean, 21,600 was the only barrier which we saw at the beginning of the day, which would act as a spoil sport if it did. But as things pan out right now, I mean, the bears have been massacred. In the last, it just takes 10-15 minutes and the whole story changes. That's the way the bull story is at the given juncture. And you know, the records high will be in. And there might be some good surprises too. Still 2 more trading sessions to go, and you never know where Nifty can go in the next 2 days.
It's like bulls are saying each and every day that picture abhi baki hai. I mean, every day we think ki maybe, you know, there's some profit booking that's going to take place or something else. But bulls are, the rally is just unstoppable, Mayuresh.
Oh, absolutely. It reminds me of a very old song, Ye Kahan Aa Gaye Hum, and that song gets repeated every time we hit a new high every day. And it also reminds me of the meme, Tanya, where the bull is stationed on top of BSE. I think it's gone way ahead of that now.
And if I remember correctly, Shail, you also said कि markets तो अपनी धुन में ही चलती हैं.
Absolutely. Tanya, I am telling you, if you study deeply, you can actually feel the pulse of the market. We have been saying repeatedly that 21,600 will come. We have been saying repeatedly buy the dips on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. We have been saying repeatedly that blue chips will outperform mid caps and small caps in the coming few weeks, few months. And that's working out really well. Ultratech cement, we discussed 8,900, that it will go above 10,000, it has. So all these things are there in the data. If you sort of dive deep and get into it, it works really well. And once a high is taken out, a better high comes up in the picture. So tomorrow, day after, I think we are going to have a lot of dhamal on the long side. And God save the bears. God save them, truly. You know, people lose their homes. I am not talking about liquidity. I am not talking about portfolio. I am talking about homes. They unnecessarily short this kind of a market. And that's a very painful thing to do. I'm sure Mayuresh would add a line of caution. If you don't like long side trades, and if you think market is overstretched, it is not listening to you, please stay away. This is not a market to short at all.
No. Absolutely, Shail sir. And again, I think the other word of caution also here will be not to have leverage positions, because it's very risky to carry leverage positions in the market as well. And again, not have that entire aspect that I've missed out on the rally. Because if the growth story of India continues, and there will be some pullback at some point of time, I think you should have you should be ready for that pullback to probably take place. But don't over leverage yourself in the market with positions taken in the market. And second, I think don't have that feeling that I have probably missed out the opportunity of a lifetime. Markets will give you an opportunity at some point or the other.
Okay, absolutely. Got that. So, talking about 2023, Mayuresh, this question is for you. We have seen these defense counters and railway stocks doing pretty well, and some of them have already turned multi-baggers. But if we talk about defense rally, the fact is that the visibility of the orders that is still there. but stocks have run up quite a lot. So is it prudent to buy defense at current levels according to you, or just hold on to them and look at buying only on pullbacks?
Yeah, I think that would be a more saner strategy, Tanya. I think holding on, ride the momentum, the folks who have that. Any fresh positions need to be on pullback. I think two, three things. One, I think the order book is very well discussed. So no questions on the order book at all. It is just about execution going forward. How will the companies be able to execute with the fixed asset and the manufacturing capacities and the facilities that they probably have? And to that extent, a lot of companies might need to prop up their manufacturing capacities to a certain extent to fulfill these order books in the timelines that is required. So I think all three criteria put together in terms of fixed asset expansion in a definitive timeline, and the order execution happening in those predefined time periods, because that is how operating leverage, revenue growth, earnings visibility will play out on numbers. Unfortunately, I think a lot of capacities will get constrained for a lot of these players looking at the order itself. The margins are quite reasonable because the margins are coming in at quite reasonable levels for all these orders at play. So I think execution is something to be watched out for. A couple of quarters of bad execution might actually pull down these stocks from the stratospheric rises that they've probably seen. So waiting for pullbacks or fresh investments is a more saner approach for these stocks. Anybody holding will definitely ride the momentum, because I think the structural story continues not just with defense, it continues with railways, it continues with power, and all these sectors are going through a huge transitory structural change as we speak over the next few years.
Okay, absolutely. Mayuresh got that. And the PSU sector is also, that sector has been on a roll shell. And we have been discussing this sector on a daily basis, if I remember correctly. But Mayuresh, coming to you, what do you make of the ferocious move that we have seen this past year on the entire PSU basket? I mean, any stocks on your radar, especially at these levels?
No, so I think within the basket itself, as I said, most stocks within the universe have done exceedingly well. So pullbacks for defense, power, and railways, I think that is a saner approach. But I think within the entire basket, PSU banks are still very, very attractive, Tanya. So I think if you look at price to book multiples on an FY25 basis, a lot of the larger mid-cap PSU banks are trading at 0.7, 0.8 times price to book, which is very reasonable in my opinion. A lot of balance sheets have got cleaned up. The expectations in terms of the new RBI circular will take a hit in terms of CET1 ratios. And there will be some capital raises for some of these banks concerned. But these raises should not be equity dilutive. They should be accretive, because over the next few quarters, you're going to see rate cuts. And these rate cuts are going to bring enormous amount of advances growth to these banks under consideration. PCR, all the provisioning coverage has been very well taken care of. The risk-weighted averages are very well maintained across sectors by these banks. And asset quality pressures are coming off, which probably means that as the new rate cut cycle begins and advances growth happen in real earnest, the earnings momentum will start playing and displaying on these stocks as well. So I think Bank of India, as an example, and Markets with India is something that we like. I think it has all the attributes that I was probably speaking about and can deliver a very good set of numbers over the next few quarters. So yeah, PSU banks as a space, Tanya, still probably looks attractively poised for better earnings growth over the next few quarters.
Okay, we have 3 minutes to close on what has been a fantastic session. Again, days high, 21,671 on the Nifty. In the next 3 minutes, let's hope we don't see 21,700. वो कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो जाएगा. लेकिन this is how the structure is. Let's see what are the contributing factors to this fantastic uptick that we've seen on the Nifty over the last 1.5 hours. Okay, HDFC Bank has contributed 24 points to this uptick. Infosys has contributed 22 points. We have L&T putting in 17 points. ICICI and Bharti Airtel have contributed 14 and 13 points respectively. Mayuresh, I have this very serious feeling you will have a close at 21,700.
Wow.
We still have 3-4 minutes left. You know, the big boys are moving. Titan, days high. Tata Consumer at days high. JSW Steel, days high. This is what is pulling up the index very, very sharply. We are at 21,671. What else is moving? Let's see in terms of the PSU basket, because that's the heaviest beta counter. LC 1.6% higher, HUDCO is 8.9% higher, LIC is 5% higher, PNB is 4% higher. Let's look at Nifty apart from the index heavyweights. Okay, Bajaj Auto 4% higher, Hindalco 4.5% higher, Ultratech Cement 4.5% higher. Very, very sharp move coming in. We have 2 minutes left. Grasim days high, 3% higher, 2130. These are all stocks that make up the Nifty, and it's on its way to move very, very sharply today. Mayuresh, any closing thoughts?
No, fantastic close. And I think, as you rightly pointed out, the next 2 days, FIs are out of action. A lot of movement will happen on the broader indices and the broader markets as well. And therefore, the fine momentum might very well continue. And yeah, I think it's just theoretical levels that we'll be now testing. I think 22K is what everybody is expecting. We might very well get 22K also before we close this year.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 minute left. I'd like to just point out a couple of other interesting thoughts when it comes to the Nifty. There are 8 stocks within the Nifty that have hit record highs, and they are right in front of you. We'll start with Bajaj Auto. Then it's followed by Ultratech Cement 4.4% higher, JSW Steel 878, Tata Motors 740, Tata Consumer, L&T, Titan and Hero Motors. I'd just like to see what the volume buzzers are, because this gives you a very strong idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Bajaj Auto 2x volumes, 5-day average 10 lakh shares. Hindalco 2x volumes, 5-day average 1.24 crore shares. Tata Motors 2x volume 1.5 crore shares. Let's go to NSE 500. Okay, let's look at the most active counters. It's HDFC Bank 2290 crores. So it's the day for the big boys. ICICI Bank, Reliance, Bajaj Finance, Tata Motors are the top 5 traded counters in terms of volume. And then comes Mazgaon Dock 2340, 1000 crores. Steel Authority 115.75, 1020 crores. And interestingly, Swan Energy 505, 931 crores traded in front of you. Mayuresh, thank you so much for your wonderful appearance talking about Bikaji, as of course the other 2 fundamental strong stocks that you mentioned. We look forward to this wonderful conversation in Gift Nifty, in Gift City. Tanya and I will be there, and of course we'll be hosting you to understand how to navigate 2024 with Bikaji Bhujia. Tanya.
Thank you, Shatra. Thanks, Tanya. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mayuresh. So on that wonderful note, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, what a fantastic day it was, Shell. Markets at record high. They are cheering. Bulls completely killed bears. I mean, it couldn't have been better. So on that lovely note, it's time for us to now wrap up this edition of Market Today. But you don't have to go anywhere, because lots more coming up for you only on BT TV. So stay tuned, and many thanks for watching.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.